All white.
Troll in the dungeon. That's my line. All right, welcome back to Don't Think, Just Charge. I'm Dave, he's Harvey, it's 3.5, and welcome to the big winners. Let's get into it. V3.5 is here. Don't Think, Just Charge is back. We've taken a short break. Thank you for your patience whilst we get ourselves back into the world of OPR. It's been a few weeks for us, but we thought we'd kick off with one of our favourite videos that we did from the beta. We did a winners and losers. We can't really pull out too many on the losers front, but what we're instead going to do is focus our lens on the factions that we think had some of the biggest glow-ups through the beta process. We've had a little bit of a chat about it. We're going to pull 6 factions together. One of them's a bit more. It's a bit more than 6, really. It's a bit cheeky, but it's roughly 3 each. And we're just going to spend a little bit of time now going through some of what we think are the biggest glow-ups. Let's start with the one that we both agreed on in our initial kind of talk through of what we're focusing on here. Start of the alphabet. It is the Alien Hives, AH. Now, this was a bit of a wild ride through the beta. They had a lot of different rules come in and out. And where have we settled on? We've settled on quite a few things we'd like to pick up on. Their army-wide special rule is everyone gets +1 to morale checks. Now, hellfire is that brilliant, especially when you've got things with Fearless thrown in the mix.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Alien has a bit of a weird one, right? Because throughout the beta, they had a little bit of nerfing going on, then they had a little bit of buffing at the end. There was a whole thing messing around with the AP4 in it.
Yeah.
Some of the things that if you've seen our Alien Hive review from months back now, you'll know that stuff like Venom Beast we're a big fan of. They've lost their kind of unique Venom Beast
RIP.
thing.
It was needed.
Yeah, well, I think it is a shame to see less unique stuff, but it is what it is. It's kind of part of this, the refluffing, I guess. Yeah. But at the very, 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 very end of the beta, like literally no one ever saw it in patch notes, Tano decided to decrease the cost of toughness scaling. Now, what that means basically is everything tough or higher, anything with the tough in it has got cheaper. Now, some things is such a small amount you won't notice it, but when you hit the tough 12 mark, you start to see a more meaningful amount of tough that's been taken off things. Now, I went back and looked at the Orc video. The Orc Walker went down by 30 points from 325 to 295. So we're looking at about probably 8% or so decrease in points across tough 12, which doesn't sound like a lot. But it's when you have 2 or 3 of these things that all of a sudden you've saved a bunch of different points and you can actually get more upgrades for things and it starts to really mean something.
It's huge. It's really substantial, and it's actually now shifted. There have been a load of shifts in 3.5 that aren't necessarily too small. And the landscape has shifted quite a bit. The main thing I'm going to hit to here is I think Deadly has really gone up in value quite a lot. Just because of how good tough things have kind of pushed towards being. Now, I don't think they're as good as anything that is tough 1 with 2 attacks or more. I think those, that kind of damage weight output still trumps it, because we're still at the 133%, for example, with tough 3, and the similar bounds for the other ones. But it's great. And I know you were focusing here on the tough 12 things, and we'll go down to the big fatties in Alien Hives as well. Hive Warriors, 3 of them at 110 points is so good. That's insanely cheap.
So yeah, I think these guys had Fearless before. Maybe they didn't. Maybe the other guys had Fearless, the bigger boys. But yeah, I mean, honestly, just like a slight decrease to tough across the board can round some things down by 5 points here and there, which is quite significant when you're at low point brackets. I think what you said about Deadly is definitely true. It was very viable before to just stack a bunch of tough 6 and tough 9 and tough 12 on your board and say, well, none of your blast is anything to me, let's just go. Def 2 everywhere, because that's kind of how those kind of toughness values tend to work. And now you can do the same thing, but for cheaper. So yeah, Deadly's starting to become something I definitely consider taking every list. we're not spamming it. We're not taking it everywhere, right? But I definitely at least have answers for things like the Hive Lord when it comes onto the board.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Hive Lord nowadays, he has even more upgrades on top of his already ridiculous profile. Like for 20 points, which I've no idea how the math on this works. For 20 points, you can give him Shielded or Furious. Shielded gives him 1-up defense, right? How is that 20 points? Furious is like 1+ quality when charging. Like, that's so cheap.
It's so good.
I don't know if I've just forgotten how much things cost because the beta been so mad, but
it's like,
both of those seem like very cheap upgrades.
So this is another thing that's going to really feed into our assessment of the armies that have done really well. There was this redistribution of auras and buffs that each hero got access to. Now, there were changes in the Alien Hive's hero profiles. The Psyker dude, the caster tough 6 guy got moved to being not a Synapse Tyrant, that's it. He's no longer a hero, so you can't hide him in a unit anymore, which I think is a really important nerf to him. But what they got then on top of all of this, I'm sorry, I'm shifting the focus away from Hive Lord, is the Grunt Vet, which we'll come back to. But the point kind of sits astride both of them. Their auras are brilliant.
Well, they now have the best.
Furious and Shielded.
They have the best 12 Lord, one of the few ones really, but basically one of the best monsters in the game there.
They've won the best
and they also have basically the cheapest hero you can get as a buff stick. And if you've been following the channel for a while, we talk quite a lot about the cheapness of heroes, right? And like Rapid Charge is great, like you're saying, Shielded is great, Furious is great, right? Like all these things for 35 points. Yeah, why not, right?
Why not?
Why the hell not? Yeah, like you just take these things.
I mean, even to the point where you're thinking about it from a really cheeky perspective. And we've spoken about the cheeky hero who's just there to do one thing, be annoying, and then swoop onto an objective, right? You take this 20-point Grunt Veteran, you give him ambush and flying for 5 points.
Yeah.
There's a 25-point late game point neutralizer cap or whatever. If you're playing this 10 activations at 2K game, consider that. You will piss off an opponent really, really easily.
And you also... So he's got piercing growth as well. So that's gives AP, right? That's not the attack one.
Yeah.
But the thing about this as well is because it's ambush, right? Like it doesn't take your activation priority away from you, right? So you can have like 3 of these in a list at the top end of your list if you wanted to, all ambush flying, and they don't affect double activations or high, big, heavy hitting lists until they come down round 3. And by then, it probably doesn't matter, right? You've already had the first 2 or 3 rounds. In fact, you're coming into round 3, you will have the ambush priorities. There's only 1 round you're going to get robbed of it. So these guys can then immediately just play all the objectives while all your big stompy monsters are doing
just
big stompy
keep doing
monster
big
things.
stompy things. Exactly.
Yeah, it's like crazy. And sure, you sacrifice a Hive Lord slot each time you do that, right? but you can definitely take one of these because you can have 4 heroes.
Yeah.
Hive Lords themselves, you can literally take them. You can just take one of their upgrades, you swap out the gun for 2 sets of 3 AP1s, and you can call it a day there, right? You can say, okay, that's going to cost me 370 points. 370 points, right?
370?
Because I'm taking the 5 points for the weapons and then 20 points for all the upgrades.
Okay.
Yeah. And then from that, you get a tough 12, 1-up defense, boatload for like 15 attacks at AP1. Sure, it's not the craziest punching of all the attacking things in the world, but whatever. Fearless and 2-up morale, right? Fear 2 as well, right? Like this thing is crazy for 370 points, right? Like crazy. You just take 3 of them. Why the fuck not, right? You take 3 of them and you've still got half an army to spend.
It's
right? Like
great. And then, it's just, there's so many things that we can say about and then.
Yeah.
Because I've made the comment of saying you can't hide the Synapse Tyrant in a unit anymore, but previously caster was reserved to heroes almost exclusively, except for the Synapse Beasts. But now... you can just take your casters elsewhere in your list, really. Yeah, if you are that fussed about it, doesn't cost you a hero slot. So, it's kind of like, oh no, I can't hide him. It's like call an ambulance, but not for me almost, because I can get these casters out without taking up valuable hero slots. And in Alien Hives, they are valuable just because of how good you have it on both ends.
And we still haven't got onto the fact that all their enormous monsters got knocked down by 3 toughness.
I wasn't even going there next, but let's go to that then, sure.
Yeah, so they now have a bunch of tough 15 monsters, right? Or are they? Yeah, the tough 15s got knocked down by 1, right?
The tough 18s
they were tough 18s got knocked down to tough 15. So they've got less tough, but tough 18 was basically a waste of points. We're talking 2k here. Maybe at 3k it's a bit more relevant.
Yeah.
And they also then have the toughness scaling change.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get a Hive Burrower, which is something people have talked at length about how much they hate, for 385 points, right?
Yeah.
But you can give it 3 more, you can give it AP4 attacks for 45 points on top of that. This comes up anywhere and instantly kills the thing it charges. Right?
Oh yeah.
It even got a buff in that it now can just take ambush instead of surprise attack. Whereas surprise attack is nice, but really ambush is doing its job.
It does it
and
fine.
for 40 points reduction, right? You save 40 points by not having that. So Alien Hives, you could literally just take all big monsters and say to your opponent, just like deal with it.
Yeah.
Right. Just like best of luck, right? None of your blasters, anything. I hope you haven't brought a rounded list, because
Hope you've
I have
brought
literally
more than
nothing for you to.
AP1.
Yeah, literally, right? Otherwise I'm on 2-ups the whole game, right? Like, I don't know. Like, this feels like early in the beta, he saw that the AP4 needed to be nerfed, and then he made a bunch of changes to the list with the AP4 nerfed, and then went back on the AP4 and did a toughness reduction at the very end of the beta, like a little gotcha. And now Alien Hives, which were already strong,
They were already incredible.
stronger.
They're
Right,
just mental.
If
Really
say you're playing a tournament where you know what people are playing beforehand, right? You see Alien Hives, you've got absolutely no fucking clue what that is.
No.
You have literally no idea anymore, right? Because that could be 5 monsters, 5 Dev 2 tough 15 monsters if they wanted it to be. What do you do about that? Or it could be like an absolute horde of little things. There's just no way of knowing, right?
There's also Relentless, guessing the buff.
Yep.
Relentless change. You could have changed that one thing and just made OPR amazingly better already, and he's done it with a whole load of other things. So Relentless is no longer you have to hold. It's just shoot at things over 9 inches away.
Yeah.
Which I think is brilliant. You want someone who is standing back and firing to get this buff. That's what you want. Excellent. Great job. Flavor win. What that's made is the support grunts that I shit all over previously and didn't like and you loved, I now absolutely think are incredible. Because okay, they've got indirect, which annoys me. Like that's my next one I want to see gone. It never will go, but it's fine, whatever, right? Support grunts, 150 points for this blast 3 exploding 6s thing, which is great with rending. So you roll a 6, you get the AP4, it goes nuts. They've also got piercing growth now, which means that they can just get bonus AP for free.
Yep. Which means that the extra 6 procs will have the extra AP in it as well.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously not super useful when you get the rending proc on 6s, but otherwise, yeah, like this unit's always been one of those kind of like cheeky roll the dice kind of units. But yeah, it's great now. It's even greater. I love them.
They're great. And then casting, all casters got a nerf. Fine.
Yep.
Casting was crazy strong anyway. One tough 3 model could have a deal 12 hits, 4-up weapon. Fine to see that dialed back. Alien Hives will still come out pretty good in the caster game, right? Because you've got pick level 2. If you need to give things +2 to their morale checks, sure, probably not really doing it. But this level 2 spell for one enemy unit taking 4 hits with AP2 is really good. Really good for a caster 3 to fire that out on a 3-up every turn. And then 18 inches, one model takes 6 hits with AP1 is also really good. Long range.
The Lords.
Yeah, there we go. If you've got someone who has just running around with a buff stick, right? You've got this grunt veteran who is, let's say he's giving out a Furious Aura. This is a 40-point model. You just detonate it. It's not surviving this at all.
Yeah. Other casters, see you later.
Other casters, see you later. Yeah. Really, really good.
Stuff.
So we've got the big stompies, Carnivo Rex, my friend, being 280 points.
Yeah, it's come down by 20.
He didn't have Fearless before, did he?
I think he did have Fearless.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah, no, I think he did. But obviously, like, because of the Alien Hive, so this had come down by 20 points and now has +1 to morale. Right, just to show you how much the tough things made a difference.
Yeah.
Which is why I looked at the Orcs one, because they've still got the same buff, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a bunch of free points literally everywhere. And Alien Hives have got probably one of the most customizable of armies, right? They have so many options on literally every unit. You're going to hit 2,000 points every time you play Alien Hives because you're going to find a 5-point upgrade somewhere that you haven't activated.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they're just
so
good.
To kind of, is it surprising or is it not surprising? I don't know. Alien Hives have been good for as long as we've been playing this game. There was a glimmer of hope when the AP4 thing came down by a bit, but I think we're in a worse position than we were at before. In terms
when
of
you say a
health.
worse position, that's what.
Yeah. For people playing the damn game, crazy. But I think honestly, we could probably talk about Alien Hives all night. We should probably move on.
Yeah, we spent a fair whack of time.
This is not an Alien Hives review. I swear there will be timestamps as well.
We'll kind of come to this, I think, as a final point, but I do want to touch later on the health of the game position.
Yeah.
We'll come on to that. I think that's going to be an important one to kind of round out the video with. If you want to know our views on what the health of the meta game is going to be like, stick to the end or skip. I know that's something you can do, but come on, let's pretend this is a TV show. Wait till the end.
We won't have an ad break, we promise.
So let's move on to the next one. Now, this is my submission, my humble submission for the holy glow up, and it's the Ratmen clans. I already really liked Ratmen. I already thought they had such a super sweet list. A lot of cute things you could pull out, solid infantry core, great heroes. And then they got the double buff here. This moves 2 inches when advancing or rushing and charging. Is just lovely. It's a very, very good effect to have. Mainly because of this +2 when advancing. It means that you move 8 inches when you're shooting, and I think that shooting is great. And then, so everyone got this one weapon rule buff for them. Alien Hives got Rupture, which I can't even remember what it is. I'm not that fussed about it. Hazardous.
Oh, yeah.
How the hell this got by? How the hell people complained about this at any point in the beta, I don't understand. It's insane.
Yeah, so one of the biggest complaints people had about it was they mathed it out and they decided that they would take it was worse than taking rending if you're looking at just points versus points kind of thing, right? So if you look at net point change, whatever that means, that's obviously not how the game works. The game works in terms of I killed your guy and now he can't activate. It doesn't matter if my guy's injured because I still have an activation on the board. So this is really good. It got a points buff as a result of the feedback, which maybe it was too expensive initially. Now it's kind of crazy. This spell, Power Surge, you're hovering over on, is just bonkers, man. This is insane. 6 hits AP4, right? And it's on a model. So yes, it's not as flexible. You can't wipe out a unit with it, but we've just spoken about how much better Tough is. You can just shoot tanks with this. You can shoot individual lords if you want to. It's a great sniping spell. They also have just normal 6 hits, like without the AP, right? So the casters in this list are just like looking so juicy already. They can pass out regen. We love that as a spell, especially early on in the game. Just exactly, minus more AP, like right. The casters, you can just spam these things, right? And they are quite cheap, right? I think the 25 pointer gets the caster 3, does he?
He's caster 2. They did take
caster
that
2.
away.
Okay. Yeah, caster 3. Okay.
100 points, 95 points for an elite handler with the Master Psi Hacker.
Which is So already, I mean, I think we liked the rat spell list before. I have a feeling we did. This is brilliant, cool. What I like. This is a 3.4 spell list.
Yeah.
Brilliant. We'll take this every day.
If you like how Ghost of the Undead have 6 hits AP to 12 inches at their level 3 spell. Yeah. If I told you, especially in Ghosts, right, you can have AP4, but then you have to roll a dice for all of 6 of those hits. You take a wound. You'd have gone any day of the week, mate.
Yeah. Sign me up. Yeah.
Like, also it takes a wound. So if you have regen, then you can just try and regen it off.
Yeah, which people were looking at during the beta as well. There was a bit of discussion around, like, is it worth taking regen on these things? I don't think it's worth taking dedicated regen on these things.
No,
but
I don't think it's worth it.
If you stumble upon it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so this is the main reason I think this is so incredibly cracked in Rats is you have so many cheap bodies. Just bury a hero in 10 Stalkers, right? And ta-da, what happens? The wound goes onto the unit. You don't care that one of your Stalkers died because you've still cranked out 6 hits AP4 on the spell.
Did the elite handler lose reinforcement in the end? It'd be at the bottom if it's there.
He did lose it, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is one of the sad things. So in the beta they had them was you'd have reinforcement, which meant you could have this really cheap caster that you just yeet up the board, and if they use an activation killing it, he's returned somehow. Emperor Palpatine has returned. But that is now gone, which I thought was hilarious, right? Like this amazing spellcasting list, and then just throwing crappy spellcasters on them at the board. But yeah,
no, that has gone. That would have been just incredible. Just that's where you want your mini agnostic. We've already spoken about, and shout out. Oh, I keep on forgetting to remember names.
If you were about to say Warboss Fitz, I swear to God.
Hey, that's a pound in the swear jar for you, mate.
Yeah.
No,
for me.
You said it. Someone came into our Discord and had modelled some of the Rat Ogre agents to have trilbies on TCS.
From our previous video, yeah.
Insane.
Made little gangster rats.
Gangster rats. I loved it. I saw that and I was fangirling, being like, "Oh my God, we did this!"
They drip fed us one different rat model for like 4 days or something like that, and it was great.
It was great. But that's what I was thinking. It would have been great to have had little Palpatine rats running up the boards. Also walking like this.
Somebody model a Palpatine rat, please.
We've fallen off the rails a bit here. Yeah. But so that's one of the many good things about them. Was it in their weapon experts? Yeah, here we go. A 30-inch A1 Blast 3 AP4 dudes who are on tough 3, so you take a wound, you don't care, and relentless, and scurry, so you're moving 8 inches. That was something that was really exciting. Back down to the clan handler for a second. We're on this 25-point hero with some really tasty auras again. Ambush aura, just super sweet for playing the base game. Scurry boost aura, don't overlook it because 10-inch moves and shoots are really nice. Precision shooter as well. So for a 60-point model, taking a big stack of your weapon experts up to a 3-up with relentless on Blast 3 AP4.
They're killing tonight.
They are doing the bigs. Yeah. Rat Ogre agents have... Wait, do I mean Rat Ogre agents? No, I mean Rat Ogre bodyguards have stayed insane because they've got Furious still exploding 6s and Surge exploding 6s.
And they move further now.
And they move further now.
And obviously the toughness thing, I don't know if it changed the cost of the Rat Ogres at all because they probably have the scurry thing, but it does change the cost of the tank that you put them in. So that's just a kind of flat buff to rats. And obviously we do know that obviously the tough thing applies to every army, right? So in theory, it was a universal change. But the matter of the fact is some armies use tough 12, some armies don't.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a buff to certain factions of other ones.
Also, defense debuff there, kind of mark debuff special thing. Being defense debuff is so powerful. Do not overlook how good this is. We loved it. I especially loved it in the Blood Battle Brothers spell list when you could stick on 3 units as a level 3 spell. In 3.4, I thought that was just incredible. And just having this on a guaranteed pinger, really good.
Yeah. I think to note as well about the defense debuff, which actually came up in a game we played the other day. This works with impact, whereas plus AP doesn't. So there is a very, very slight difference between these two things here. And obviously this also gets around bonuses to like the custodian thing that removes AP from the thing. This gets around that as well. So this may look like the same thing, but it's much more powerful. It's great.
There's so much to it. I've just seen artillery. Worth mentioning. Artillery got a really nice little glow up. They have now got the may only use hold actions thing. They get +1 to hit over 9 inches away and the entrenched effect. But that combined with the tough cost reduction, this artillery gun at 105 points, I want to play a game with it. Just stick it in there.
Basically, all the artillery got reduced down to tough 3. And they still have bonuses to the damage they do. So while they can't play objectives, there are some hero abilities that let you move them still. But they're kind of like this really, really cheap, nasty, offensive thing at the back of the board. And what I will say, after playing strategy games for a very, very long time, I think, is it distraction Carnifex? I think that's what Torin from Total War calls it, right? The distraction Carnifex, right? It's basically that, right? If you put something like this on the board, people come for it, even if it's crap, right?
Yeah.
The ultimate distraction Carnifex is the gun at the back that's never hitting, but looks like it might do something. They will ambush on this thing with a 500-point unit, just to remove your artillery gun and have a smug look on their face, because nobody likes artillery. Everyone likes killing artillery.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good things going on in the rats that we could just keep talking about all day long. Great Death Wheel, hilarious. 155 points, impact 8, AP 1 on a scurry fast thing.
Once again, defense debuff here, super relevant, right? That's
insane.
AP2, impact 8, right, coming in. That's killing loads of things. 2-ups, it's really good. Yeah, 2-up defense can move like literally 18 inches charging. Fear 1, yeah. And that's all for 195 points. And you don't even have to use the defense debuff if you don't need to. You can put it on something else, right? Like, yeah. There's loads of nice things about the rats. I mean, we thought rats were good already.
We thought rats were good already.
Very flexible list, lots of things going on. Easy access to AP4, some tricks. Did mine drones change as well? I thought I saw something about them changing at some point during the beta, but maybe I'm talking nonsense. I know some people were talking about using them.
Maybe it's that they got slow and they didn't have it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, is that? Yeah, I think that might be it. Yeah, if they did, then that is obviously just good.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck how fast your mine drones are going as long as they can take objectives. So yeah, obviously a glow up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, lovely work. Lovely work from the rats.
We're enjoying the rats. They're in a really good spot. Moving on to the Dow Union. My turn to put a pound in the Warboss Fitz jar. Warboss Fitz, like, fucking credit to the man. He did a live stream nearly every day. A game nearly every day with most of them with his brother-in-law, Uncle C. That was 2 months of an OPR game a day. Now that sounds fun, but he also streamed the fuckers. Like, I can't explain to you how much more effort it is to do that sort of thing. So credit to the community. Now I think
we need a pet name for him. I think it's reached the point now in the channel where Warby. So the demands more respect, like War God Fitz or something like that. Right?
All right.
War God Fitz. Just so that like really
call him his real name, right?
Demonstrates how much you love him, right? Like you idolize him, right? Like he needs to be elevated, or he needs like a what's it called, epithet? What's it called? Like Warboss Fitz, Lord of OPR YouTube or something, right? Like, you know.
Oh, if it's an epithet, it's got to be a bit more exciting, like he who rolls the dice. Something like that, right?
Should we just call him that from now on?
He who rolls the dice.
No, he who rolls dice. That's it. We just don't call him by name. Probably not going to do great for like the cross-channel engagement thing, but yeah, he who rolls dice.
Dow Union, he had a bit of a hiccup on. Because Dow Union, and I put my nose into the Dow Union thread because I thought they were shit beforehand. And I thought they needed a bit of a glow up. They took several pips of glow up, which kind of pushed people a bit over the edge with it. The first nice thing they got was a new unit. A new unit that could get shielded. So this is now a Def 3 unit of 5 that's quite cheap. Really good to have. And when they come with shotguns, that's excellent. Their thing being +1 to hit rolls when shooting over 9, really good with that. And then having good shot as well means that in that 9 to 12 inch range, you are hitting on 3s with your shotguns. That's really good, right? That's an exciting unit. I would enjoy playing with that one. If it dies, it dies. Is the fact that then you've got the tactical grunts who get it at 18 inches, can double up to 10 of them. So this is 20 shots on 3s at 18 inches. The extra and then is that the grunt leader has a relentless aura. So for like, I think 350, 400 points, whatever it is, 135 double 270 with this on 295 with that 330 points with extra bits. 330 points for 20, you get roughly that much for like 23 shots at 18 inches with AP1 hitting on 3s with exploding 6s, so it is actually effectively hitting on 2s, is pretty good. It's that the grunt leader he still can take precision spotters, and you can get 1 per block of 10 in the tac grunts. So you can quite reliably make it so this unit's hitting on 2s, which with Relentless is actually the equivalent of hitting on 1s. And this is, we've gone from a 5-up quality model here, units, right the way down to a net hitting on 1-ups and guaranteeing 23 shots at AP1, that's going to do a big dent on most things.
Yeah. And to be honest, like that is the Fitz conclusion, the he who rolls dice conclusion. I think spotter squads do all that, but better. They cost the same amount of points. They have one less defense. They have scout. They do literally all the things you've just described, and you deploy them after your opponent.
Spotter squads are even more egregious. Like, this is the thing, right?
We now have piercing shooting mark as well. When did that arrive?
When did that arrive?
When the fuck did that arrive? And also, bear in mind, you touched on Relentless, right? But they also have access to range Slayer. And we were just talking about how good top 12 stuff is, right? What if you gave all your things shooting it plus 2 AP? Is it plus 2?
Yeah,
plus 2 AP? Plus 2 AP. What if everything was AP3 and doing all the things you just described, one less chance to hit, but like the AP
on
makes
2-ups, you don't really care, right?
Yeah, literally, who cares, right? And most of the things you're shooting with the lower AP version of yourself, which is probably AP2 if you're doing the spotter squad thing, is dying to that because most tough 1 models are like AP2 is going to absolutely rinse them.
Yeah. Also, so you kind of stole my and then, which was the spotters. But yes, it's then and then spotters, right? So you're trading 1 death for scouts, which is great.
Also, spotter squads get the increased range as well, right? So they're scout units that start 24 inches away from you that almost certainly instantly delete a unit when they activate. And then they've got... and then because you've had scout, you've been able to pick your engagement, be able to put them where you want to put them. So you should then not get hit on the snapback. You probably just delete the unit in front of you. So yeah, they've just got loads going for it.
Scout got a buff. A really health of the game, brilliant change. No longer has to be deploy it and move it 12. It's now just put it within 12, which, it's going to stop every time I fuck up my scouts by putting units down and forgetting I need to scout and can't get things into the right place. Lovely. Thanks for saving my shitty ass. But melee shrouding aura just is another point that it didn't quite need. The ability to make it that people move 3 inches less when charging really does matter. I don't think, have we got any...
No anti-ambush. That's how
no anti-ambush, which is what I was going to cover.
But I mean, to be fair, like, they had all this stuff before, right? Like they had melee shrouding order. They had the increased range thing, right? Like I've just come out the back of playing an online TTS tournament, doing all of this stuff, but without targeting visor, right? And I was doing pretty well, right? And I even, Bence challenged me to use 1,000 points worth of tanks, and these guys have literally the worst tank in the game. Not anymore, but they did. So I basically pissed away 1,000 points, right? And I performed really well with Dow, and that's old Dow. New Dow have +1 extra to hit, and all these new tricks, and like a way of giving relentless, and their tanks are actually good now, right? Their tanks in this new world where we think tough 12 is good, they have like a crazy good tank for killing tough 12 stuff. And then on top of that, obviously the stealth suits got cheaper and all sorts of stuff, right? So yeah, I mean, Dow definitely had a glow up. I think I said it. I said it in the UK Discord when the beta was going on. Nobody actually wants to play a game where shooting is good, but I think we're in a position now where we're going to find out how that feels.
Yeah.
Because I think you probably play a couple of games against your opponents with this stuff. Spotter squads, scouting, they get to make no decisions before you start shooting and taking this over the board, and people will start to be like, "Fuck Dow, man."
Yeah,
fuck this game.
The one thing that so we've talked through all these things. I don't think we've probably covered 60% of it. The rest of things also got those glow ups that we can kind of brush a bit over. The tough change, battle suits got their config sorted out. It was really, really confusing. Yeah. Well, it was pretty confusing. It's less confusing, and they lost ambush as a mandatory thing. It's now an optional upgrade, which is really good. Stealth suits, I just think I don't think anything other than TV changed, but I think they're excellent because
stealth
they have
came back and forth. Is stealth minus 1 to all hits?
It's just shooting.
It's back to shooting.
It's back to just shooting. But I think that stealth suits, 210 points for an ambushing, targeting visor, deadly 3 at 18-inch AP4 thing for 25 points with an optional precision spotter or piercing shooter mark, which you're not taking, but precision spotters. I think that's really good. 18 inches is a big distance, sorry. So I'll be taking 2 units of these in most Dow lists. I love tough 3 things. Like, I might just, for funsies, ignore all of the grunt shit and just take loads of suits, right?
I think there's so when you have a full scout army, you basically get to decide what happens round 1. Right, you should, when you place your things down, especially with the new scout, you've got no limitations, you just draw an extra 12 inches. When you're deploying your stuff, you should go like, well, if I put that here, he could move here and shoot that. Cool, right? And you can literally play out the whole first round, right? Because you've chosen your deployments. When you have ambush stuff on top of that, what that means is you're probably going to activate first. So not only do you get to pick the round 1, but you also get to pick the first activation of round 2, right? Because you've plotted it all out in your head. And that's literally the game. Right, if you just make all the decisions ahead of time for round 1 and the start of round 2, the first activation, the most important one of round 2, you've really set yourself in a really good place. So stealth suit is really nice for that as well, for just like bringing down your activation count and just also being like I did all this planning, it didn't quite go the way I wanted it to go, but luckily I can drop my stealth suit right there on the board and deal with the problem that I couldn't deal with initially.
Yeah.
So yeah, great stuff. And also if you're playing against someone who's got other APCs and stuff that maybe you can't quite kill them all, you can just put these guys on the board at the start, right?
This is something I think is going to be really relevant, which is the option to not set aside your ambushes. Yeah. Just voluntarily letting go of those points is going to be quite impactful, because people won't be expecting it. People won't expect you to say, no, I'm not ambushing my ambushes. There's no point not scouting your scouts, but not ambushing your ambushes, and just going, no, I'm going to deploy this as normal. People might be thinking, oh, fuck, my transports, my big, tasty, egg baskets can be cracked.
Because they'll get countered, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And counting on 3-up as well, so pretty good chance you hit 2 of those shots.
Yeah.
So yeah,
if you're me, I played quite a few games of DAO through beta, right? I would miss my precision spotters and then just make all my attacks anyway. It wouldn't really fucking matter.
Easy.
I did that 3 different games at least. It was good fun.
And yeah, we didn't even mention it. Precision shooting is now 40% cheaper. It was 25 points, now it's 15 points. The spotters.
Oh yeah.
Right? Just
yeah. It just where are the precision spotters now? 15 points.
So just like XD random, here's a free buff, right? Like I think for spotter squads, you would always take 2, because if you succeeded both, then you shot on a 2-up previously. If you succeeded 1, which is statistically likely, you shoot on a 3-up. And if you fail them, then whatever, right? So 2 is a really good number to have because you can't waste them.
Yeah.
So that's gone from 50 points down to 30 points. And so now you've got 10 points to spend. And if you look at their drone upgrades, right? So you've got 20 points to spend, that you can get 2 drone upgrades for that cost, right? So you've basically got 2 free drone upgrades off the back of this buff. And it's something you'll be spamming across a whole army, right? If you're going full spotters thing, you probably saved 100 points.
You probably have saved. I saw a really interesting comment, which is still too expensive for something that's not guaranteed, which I empathise with. If DAO hadn't had all those other nice little chip ups, if you'd have just, and again, it's like I said about Relentless, if you'd have just changed Relentless, if you'd have just given DAO precision spotter buffs, they'd probably be okay.
Yeah.
But they've had all these little changes. The one thing that I think is, we can come on to the health of the game point, is I thought that the balance of auras and spells were meant to cover weaknesses a little bit. Shooting's not a weakness, so why do we have Relentless Aura? I think
it's the other way around, right? So when we spoke to Tano, he said all auras are going to be leaning towards what the army's supposed to be good at, and spells are supposed to cover weaknesses. Yeah,
that's right. Yes, you are right.
But it is worth noting that most armies got I think the auras styles are like utility, defensive, something,
offensive,
shooting, melee, right?
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the other one is, right? But there were 5 different things, and everyone got 5 auras. DAO didn't get a melee one. Oh, the boost is the other one, right?
Yeah.
So DAO didn't get a melee one, so instead got another range one, because Tano was like, well, it's a shooting army. So they get Relentless Aura and they get the range shooting thing, which means that you've got flexibility during army building, which no other army has. Every army has a dud, right? Because most of the time armies have a clear, you're probably playing melee, you're probably playing range, right? Like Ghost the Undead got a range shooting aura. Like, what? Where are we putting that? Where are we putting that, right? I'm not on the crossbow guys, Banshees don't need it. Yeah, either way, not to talk about my baby too much. DAO are really good. DAO are really good.
DAO, very good. We'll come on to now the next one, which is actually a few. It's all of the Battle Brothers. Yes. We're going to take the time just to kind of have a little bit of a look into them. Now, Harvey, this was your first submission that wasn't the same as mine. We've actually covered 2 of mine. I've been very selfish. We've done 2 of my inputs. So let's now, in fact, just go through your favourite ones here. Why did you want to start with Battle Brothers?
So, first of all, Battle Brothers and Prime Brothers, right? They're kind of the same thing. I will say Prime Brothers now have 3 army-wide rules, right?
Yeah.
They've got Fortified, they've got their Battle Brother one, they've got Fearless. So, you know, in case anyone was wondering who the favourite child is here, 3 army-wides. Everyone else got 1.
Everyone was saying it was Alien Hives before, but let's not start that.
No. So why do I pick Battle Brothers? First of all, I think a lot of their stuff got more interesting. I think some of the army-wide stuff that they had before has been changed up, right? So Wolf now get a mini teleport, which I think is more interesting than counterattack.
I think it's insane.
The Dark ones now get extra charge range. Knight hasn't changed. Blood now gets an extra attack instead of Furious, which has its pros and cons. But the thing that I think Brothers got in general that is really great is their new auras. So all the base Brother guys can just take these like banners. If you go on Battle Brothers, just like Battle Brothers, like the unit.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah,
these
I know where you're coming with
banners
this.
at the top, right? So
great.
Courage, Versatile Reach, and Regen, right? So I think we had Regen before.
We had Regen
I don't know if we
before.
had Courage or not, but this Versatile Reach thing is great. It's a little bit more charge range. It's a little bit more shooting range.
You didn't Tony the Tiger that enough for me. It's not just great. It is great.
And obviously, you've all been tricked. The reason I'm talking about this is Flamers. So, Veterancy got changed from +1 to hit to +1 to hit or +1 AP. So now, every single Battle Brother army can have AP2 Flamers shooting at 16-inch range. There we go. That's the whole thing. Perfect.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Why would you need anything else? In fact, Blood can even shoot further than that because they get 3-inch extra range shooting. Wolf can also teleport. Knight can teleport all. So you've actually got... So Brothers are in a position where they're going to be the best flamethrower unit in a meta most likely dominated by tough 12 things. so it's not all great. But what I will say overall, I think Brothers had a nice glow up across the beta. They had lots of little toys added, lots of love poured into them, lots of comments in the threads and stuff like that. I think the veterancy thing is huge. Being able to shoot between AP and +1 to hit is so much better than just +1 to hit. So yeah, overall, I think Brothers are in a nice position.
I'm just looking. Veteran Assault Brothers. Oh, you mean more when we're looking down at the support brothers for the Flamers? Not in the veterans, sorry. Assault Brothers, what am I doing? I'm being an absolute mug. I was wondering, where are all the guns? So I was like, I haven't paid attention to this. Have they all just been stripped out? Are we actually dealing with pistols? No, I'm an idiot. I'm in the wrong flipping unit. Hello.
And all the things apply for flamethrowers to fusion rifles as well, right? So the +1 to hit is really good for fusion rifles because they don't have the extra AP. The extra range is really good for fusion rifles because
that's what I was coming for.
12. Yeah. So yeah, like I was joking mostly about the flamethrower thing being, great, but extra range is really, really good in a game where going from 12-inch range to 18-inch range costs you 50% more for that gun, right? Auras giving you those and let you stack them up to really long ranges. It's just so great, right?
So good.
It's genuinely really scary having to deal with a fusion rifle, which they've even got heavy fusion rifles if you want to go that crazy, but like dealing with a fusion rifle that it's got 18-inch range plus 6-inch movement, you basically hold the whole middle of the board there. Any tanks come anywhere near it, you're going to absolutely destroy it, right? Because you're hitting on a 2-up. And yeah, you can do stuff like put them in speeders and all sorts of stuff. So I think Brothers are in a really, really good position thanks to the veterancy thing.
Yeah.
The biggest loser in the Brothers thing is probably Knights, because their whole thing was flamethrowers, and now they're in a position where they're probably not going to be able to do that as much as they want to, and they don't really have any good deadly options. So unfortunately, all Knight Brothers don't get any fusion rifles or anything like that. Yes. I know, so sad. They have a spell, I think, and they have their hammer things, but it's just not the one. It's not going to cover it.
They've still got 22-inch range AP2 on their basic dudes. Their basic dudes are jumping expensive, but what actually can we get out of these guys? They've got 18-inch AP2 Blast 3 Relentless. I mean, this is just a good unit, right?
Oh yeah, the units are great, but yeah, if you're playing tough 12 land, which I think you will come across people doing that, right? You're probably going to have a sad time.
this guy.
Yes,
We have a mixed event coming up in January, and I'm just kind of wondering, like, do I want to bring my new models that I've spent a lot of time over the past few weeks printing and getting ready, or do I just want to bring Oops All Stompies and just have a good time? What do I do? No idea.
Oops All Stompies.
Oops All Stompies. I like bringing very few models to an event, and if I could just bring 7, that'd be nice. Okay, cool. So the brothers in a good spot. Yeah, Prime Brothers also actually got a double extra bit there. As you said, they've got 3 rules. They've got Battleborn, this shaken thing. They've got Reinforced for AP -1 over 9 inches. They've got Fearless. They also had their defenses taken down a pip. Now, don't think of this as a nerf. This is actually a really good buff because of all the other things going on. They got an extra bit cheaper. They also got their own destroyers, if I recall correctly. Grave Destroyers, is this the unit I'm thinking of?
Oh, cool.
They didn't have ambushing tough 3 guys before. So now they have ambushing tough 3 guys with -1 AP and +1 to defense rolls because they're close combat weapons and shields, and you can replace the close combat weapons with A3 AP1 rending. Just really, and again, if you liked Custodians before, may I introduce you to your new Custodians list, really? Because, this isn't the time. This isn't the time.
Yeah. Yes, I will say I think Prime Brothers still mostly struggle with the same problems they had before. I don't think they're an amazing list. But definitely getting access to cheap AP4 or cheapish AP4 is good for them because that's where they struggled really before. Getting decent AP on the board really made it different. Yeah. Obviously, everyone's got walkers and they can do that with walkers, but it's not really the same as easy to apply to a specific place.
Yeah. Also, Prime Brothers don't have a tough 12 walker, if I'm not mistaken.
Combat walker bomb, right?
That's 15. So,
is it? Oh, wow.
So it's that extra bit more expensive, and I think the loadout's kind of awkward. You always end up with the chest GL. Yeah, you always end up with a gun. So, it's kind of fine. Actually, I'm just going to take a minute to indulge myself and wonder, because I think wolves, the wolf saga in the beta threads of what do you guys want, and having a vote, because the wolf players were the most feral of all of the feedback that Tano was getting. He just went, fine, you choose my vote. They've ended up with this 3-inch teleport thing, which is so good. I can't not my place to judge people dissing it, but 3-inch teleport is excellent on anything who likes melee and shooting for that matter. But there's some hilarious things to come from it. So the wolf combat walker having teleport 3 inches, that's really nice. Then the drop pods having
the best usage. Actually, the best. It's so
hilarious.
Good.
It's so funny.
Jump.
So yeah, the brothers are looking pretty good. Brill. So, I've accidentally closed one of the ones that we're going to be coming on to. Spoilers. Let's move on now to the next one on our list. Orc Marauders. I think the quote that you gave was the orcs have got good eatings.
Yeah. I mean, so some of the things on these lists are like how much have they improved post beta. Some of the things on this list is what's just good.
Yeah.
And orcs fit firmly under the just what's good, right?
Yeah.
Just go. I mean, also they also got a lot up anyway in the beta. Just go on Berserkers, right? And then we could basically call it a day. So Berserkers got this speed feat thing, right? So they were already loads of them got it, right? Yeah. So they now get a once per game. Was it like an extra? Is it 6 inches? 4 inches?
3 and 6.
6 inches? Yeah. Once per game, they get 6 inches extra charge range, right? So they basically got super fast, but it's once per game, so it's cheap. And because it's an aura, you get it for 10 points for 10 guys or whatever. This is insanely good, right? How often do you need movement many, many times a game? Movement is really good in the game, but for a unit like this that's never going to see round 4, this is insanely good. On top of that, this unit is already just like one of the best units you've probably ever seen in the game, okay? It's hitting on a 4, 6-up defense into a 6-up. It got +1 AP on a charge, which is now easy for it to do. It's got Ferocious, so it's got exploding 6s. It's just good. It's just such a good unit, and it's cheap, right? So they already have the best mainline infantry in the game by far, right? You just take 3 sets of those guys every time. You can give them regen if you want to as well. That's just great. Then they also have decent walkers in orcs, which are now even cheaper, as I mentioned before. They've come down. So orcs are just like in a nice position, right? They're just in a place. And I think Bad Shot got changed to a -1. So a lot of their stuff that's shooting is now a lot more viable. Obviously, Ferocious is now shooty and not shooty at the same time as well. So we talked about that in our review. This means you can do a full orc shooting list if you want to, or you can do a full orc melee list and you never feel like you're missing out on a buff. Yeah, they're just good, aren't they, really? Orcs were good when we reviewed them initially. They've only received buffs since then. And I think their auras are good as well, aren't they?
They're all right. I look at the auras and I go, orcs didn't get everything. They didn't get all these da-da-da-da-da-da-da-das going up. They have got a good spell list, it's worth saying. Yeah. I really like this 18-inch 3 hits +3. Very good. Yeah. Ferocious boost is good. 6 hits with Bane, pretty good. Yeah, lots of good things there.
What's the Berserker leaders thing? What's he get? Piercing Fighter. Yeah. Okay. So they've got even more AP on top of it as well. And also Ferocious Boost is good. I think maybe it's tad expensive, but 5s and 6s is way more reliable than just 6s, right? That's an insane amount more hits. But Piercing Fighter is just straight up AP on those 18-inch charging orcs if you want them. So they can be AP2 instead when they charge and absolutely just destroy anything they come in contact with.
The Berserker Leader's great combat beast, it did have bounding before, I think, didn't it?
Yeah,
this thing's just still great. Like, really like it. For sub 200 points for what you can get out of this. It's pretty good. Orc shooting, it was exactly what I said in the review, just like wanting a couple more things with shooty, and now everything's got shooty. It's just now called Ferocious. That's just fab. I think we lost the super memey, was it a vet leader with 100 different ways to get exploding 6s? Is that gone?
No, the shot cannon's still there.
The shot cannon's still there. It's 2 loads of exploding 6s.
Extra shooty used to be something he could get as an upgrade for himself.
That was the cookie.
Now it's Ferocious Boost Aura, which obviously is a lot more expensive, but you can get applied to other things. I mean,
that's pretty good.
So, I think
the trike's still great.
Yeah, so the trike got nerfed in our eyes, buffed in some people's eyes. It's now Def 4 instead of Def 5, I think it was. Maybe Def 6. I think it was Def... I can't remember. It didn't make much of a difference to points. I think someone in the Discord said the other day it was like 10 points, which isn't a massive amount of points, but also Orcs are a very customizable list. It was points you could have spent elsewhere. You didn't really care about this thing, whether it lived or died. If someone's doing 6 hits to it, it probably dies. Not sure. It also now has shooty built into it. Because it has to, obviously. Yeah. That was one of the buffs. So we were basically always taking it anyway, but once again, removing options is not good, because what you could have had before was a really, really cheap trike that just did exactly what you needed to do. And now you have less of an option there. So we're less crazy about this. Especially now that higher tough thing's cheaper as well. Yeah,
I'm still quite keen to like jam 3 of these into a list and just see how I go.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's a bit like the Alien Hives leader thing, right? You just... It's cheap. Who cares, right? It's a couple 100 points. Does good stuff in the game. Very annoying. But yeah,
orcs are also looking pretty good.
Yeah, basically right.
And now let's round out with a shout out and a big thank you to Tano for when he came on that call with us and asked our opinion on how do you deal with the Titan Lords thing. And we echoed what had been said quite a few times. Give them tough 9.
Yep.
And the Titan Lords got... It's no longer, what was it, a peasant something?
It's a vassal instead, yeah.
It's now a vassal, which is cool. Yeah, people didn't like the name. I get it. Here for my flavor kings and queens and other monarchs.
Ben's literally was like, I will never play this if it's called Peasant Micro Titan. He said, I just won't play it. And he was like really, really keen to play Titan Lords. And then he saw the name of it. He was like, no, I'm not interested.
My only complaint is they don't have 2 tough 9 level things. That would have made them like way more exciting. I'll probably be trying it with like Blessed Sisters, who do have 2 tough 9 things, or 3 even, I think. But having a single one is really good. Very, very nice for the army. And then the tough decrease.
Yeah. So you can build. I was just building Titan Lords before we got on this call, actually. 3 of the vassal guys kitted out nicely. A melee guy and a shooting guy makes for a nice rounded 5 activation list for Titan Lords. One thing to know about Titan Lords is the vassals are really hard to move if you want to make them that way, right? So they can get regen and they can get -1 to hit because of change bound. And you can leave a shield on them as well if you want them to have a 1-up defense. And did I say regen? I think I did. So you can actually make these things really, really cheap, extremely hard to move tough 9 things if that's all you want them for.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple of different ways you can build this, and it's kind of interesting, right? Like, I wouldn't say it's like, wow, there's so many options now, right, compared to other lists, but it is way more interesting than what it was.
Way more interesting, right?
Yeah, because you now have those options. I do wish they'd gotten more tough 9 things.
Yeah.
Because I think the situation they're in now is you basically just take 3 of these every time.
Yeah.
Which limits your list building quite a lot. But also during the beta, I said that everything should come down by 1, right? Like, I don't think Vassal Micro needs to exist. I think you could have just brought the errants, like those. There's basically a melee 1, a hybrid 1, and a ranged 1 at all the ranks. And I think if you just added one of those at tough 9 for them all, then it would have been fine as well. They just needed cheaper options for doing stuff.
Yeah.
As it stands, the Vassal tries to be kind of all 3 of them. I guess he's the hybrid one, but
I don't see the game becoming more degenerate. I don't see any reduction in like the integrity of OPR by just sticking another tough 9 model into this army book.
no.
I think that is a bit of an open goal, easy win to get more people in. So
also this honor code thing is probably worth talking about.
Yeah.
It's interesting this, right? So it used to be...
I like the change.
Yeah, so it used to be when you activate the unit, you roll dice on a 4-up, you could do stuff with it. Otherwise, you just unshake at the end of the round. And then now you don't have to activate them, right? Instead, it's at the start of the round. Every single unit that has this rolls a 4-up.
You're not
and sees
taking a gamble, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which makes this really good. Is it better than Fearless? So there's probably not, because one of the advantages of Fearless is that you're just not shaken. So you
Also
can't get charged
routing.
again and routed off the board. Yeah. Routing, obviously this doesn't work for routing. So it's definitely worse than Fearless. I don't know where the point cost lie for it. I think this is a good effect now that it's at the start of the round. So as long as the point costs are cheaper than Fearless, then brilliant. And I think they are. I think there's some discussion about that in one of the beta threads at some point. But yeah, if we're talking glow-ups, then... I mean, Titan Lords just got a glow-up, didn't they? Right, complete trash, never run them, basically. Impossible to run them at 2k, really. You just lose to them having more activations than you. And now you've got more of a fighting chance, especially because if you look at the melee Titans, the melee Titans can get Lustbound and fast, right? So they've got a 19-inch charge, right? So is that right? 19-inch? Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. 19-inch charges, which... These things were very avoidable before. Now they're really not avoidable. They just come flying at you.
This is like...
And they got Strider as well from that.
Yeah, they get Strider. This is one of your strategies with big chunky things, is ignore it, right?
Yeah.
And ignore this. Here's 19-inch charges. It's like 19-inch charges on something that comes out with, I think, 16 attacks, if I'm remembering. So that was it. I really like... the ability just to give these guys lance now thrust, and it's going to be a very effective charger coming out. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Fast Strider, Lustbound, that's going to be pretty good to come coming.
And you can take Warbound instead. Warbound's obviously a really good effect. It's just the one extra wound on a 1, right? That's basically an AP. 15 points for 1 extra AP is really cheap.
Really cheap.
No idea. Well, I think because they start off with a shield. The calcs it without the extra weapon. So all the offensive upgrades for these guys are going to be cheaper than they probably should be.
PDF moment.
PDF moment, basically. So, yes, celebrate, go crazy, Titan Lord. Titan Lord's fans going wild right now. Look at them all.
Ooh, and we've got the 1 extra wound, which you could stack with the deadly thing.
Yep.
Which is pretty nice. Yeah.
Which might be relevant now, yeah.
Oh, tell you what my biggest beef with this model is. This exact unit.
What?
Upgrade with 1, 15, 20, 25, 15.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't know how that happened.
Ooh, no.
It is annoying, isn't it? It's really annoying. It's like seeing minus points.
Is it because these are alphabetical? Like, and everyone going LMNOP in their heads? I am correct. Like, come at me. Is that why?
Tano's just, probably right. Maybe that probably just made them in that order. I don't know. Either way, it's deeply upsetting. They should just buff the war one until it's 4 points.
AP1s and exploding sixes. Go for all of that. But yeah, so the Titan Lords, are we scared of seeing a Titan Lord list on the other side of the board? Not really, but have they had a really big glow up and been drawn nicely forward from 3.4? Yeah, they have. One thing I would like to say is good for them as well is people aren't us. They're not absolute nerds who only want to focus on an army book in one vacuum. They ally in. People ally in like loads, and being able to ally in a few of these vassal micro titans is now going to just be really nice for you. Or the other way around, if you want to take 3 vassal micro titans and an errant mini titan, and then play Human Inquisition as the rest
alien
of the list.
Hives grunts.
Oh yeah, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. But like bring in the Human Inquisition or your HDF or whatever you want to make your lore fit. And if your lore is alien hives, don't let us tell you how to have fun. But you need to have a word with yourself and probably go through therapy. But for the people who like to do those allying things, this is great. It makes the list more accessible, more engaged, more able to be engaged with, and I think that's a win. Going through beta, and we can talk about this having been in the feedback group, having been in the dedicated alpha group that Tano picked. It was a really good opportunity to just step back and have a word with myself and go, not everyone plays this game from an event and competitive based focus, and that's brilliant. And there are so many points now where I'm seeing people have these intense conversations on the Discord, and I kind of want to jump in and say, one of you doesn't realize that the other one doesn't play the same way as you. This guy wants to make his minis cool and roll math rocks. That's it. And seeing beta was really, really good for me, I think, in seeing how many people want to do that and how many people want to ally in Titan Lords and make their armies work with 2 or more factions, like orcs and goblins getting expanded on their own in sci-fi just meant that the people who want to play orcs and goblins as one just have more options, and that's a good thing. That's it. And kind of coming back to my main point is my criticisms of anything that's come out in 3.5, and I have one really big one. But my main criticisms are, why would you reduce accessibility to the game, reduce how people want to play with and enjoy with their minis, if lifting that barrier didn't cause any sort of deprecation to the game? So that's why I think, fuck it, give Titan Lords an extra tough 9 thing. I don't think you're going to ruin the game by doing that.
In terms of overall, I think I like the patch, right? I think it tread the line between just enough familiarity stuff so it's not a massive amount of change, but something sprinkled interesting into most lists. I think, unfortunately, the most interesting things that got added were new units and options, which was out of scope for the patch. So it basically became a who's more passionate about their army. Because the people, this is something I was literally making a list of this before we started as well. Stuff like the tank company leader, right? This stuff came from community feedback. And I mean, this is obviously used to be kind of a thing like this. This is insane, by the way. For 35 points, it gets +1 to hit. Literally fuck everything else in the game. But yeah, so ultimately, I think the patch is really good. I think the fact that all these units were out of scope kind of reinforces one thing we were saying, which is community feedback's really important. If you didn't take the opportunity to do it over the beta, next time that comes around, do not miss out on your opportunity. Some of the armies that got the best stuff were from the most passionate communities. The places that got the most comments are almost certainly going to come out with the most powerful armies, because people are requesting things that they think are cool, and cool stuff tends to be quite powerful. I mean, Alien Hives was an absolute mess. But yeah, in terms of how we build lists now, I think the chance of you coming across things in event days full of big stompy things has gone up. Not only because Titan Lords is now a thing, but when something like Titan Lords becomes more accessible, people start to look in other places for similar things. Things being cheaper, Alien Hives, already one of the most popular factions, now access to even more monsters. So if you're building a list now in 3.5 world, you need to be ready for that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's healthier or worse for the game that this is a good thing or not. I think I really liked the game when most lists had one tough 12 thing in it, and there was kind of a more I felt like more lists were like, tough 12 single model, couple of tough 3s, lots of tough 1 kind of thing, like a nice distribution.
And that's how I loved making my lists on that sort of distribution as well.
Yeah.
Even to the point where I've like picked up Piper's Makes Void Crafted. I've been showing them to you ad nauseum. And how have I printed off these minis? I've got one big thing meant to be a tough 12 which is right here. Go check out Piper's Makes. No relation to Piper whatsoever, but the models are insane. We've got one big tough 12 thing, a few big tough 3 kind of in my mind things, and then a load of little dudes. And I like to build a list that way because it feels rounded and that makes my brain sparkle. But now you're right, there's going to be a shift.
Yeah, there'll be just more tough 12 things kicking around, I guess. If you like your big kaiju fights, then you're going to be pretty happy.
Yeah.
If not, start bringing a bit more deadly. I think AP4 deadly stuff. Try and sprinkle a little bit in there. Like, it's okay to have a dedicated piece that does it. Dow hover tanks can do like a bunch of that kind of style of shooting. Ankylosaurus obviously got a big cost reduction, and I think they've got disintegrate, so they've got AP4 deadly as well. So just stuff like that, right? Like, these things were good already. Because one thing I meant to say this at the start of the video. So if you're here, you get my one pearl of wisdom that I always say, which is, when we go through all this stuff, it always sounds like some things are really good and some things are really bad. They're not. They're like 3% power difference, right? Like, OPR is the difference between the best and the worst is so much smaller than other games.
Yeah.
So stuff previously that was maybe on the lower end of the scale that's been brought up the scale is actually, it didn't take a lot to do that, right? So, the Ankylosaurus is great now. The only thing I would avoid in this patch is the marks. I think generally the marks are massively overcosted. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Why is this 60 points?
Literally no idea, right? Some of the costs for these things are insane. Now, obviously, that's very powerful when you're hitting AP4, deadly, whatever, right? But it's a similar cost on things that don't have that kind of power. So I don't really know what went wrong with the marks. I think they should be cheaper all around. I think most of the time I see one, I go like, cool, right. Anyway, I'll pick something else. So yeah, we'll see really how the game goes. But yeah, I think overall pretty happy.
Yeah, it's good. There are a couple of points just to kind of have a little bit of a think about.
Yep.
In terms of overall game health, we touched on it.
Yeah.
One of the things I am critical of, and I will wait until we've played our 100 games of this patch before being a bit more damning on this verdict. Everyone got buffed. Typically, I'd say, rough finger in the air, 80% of those buffs were offensive, and then there are a few defensive ones. So taking just Grimdark Future, you've got the dwarves, you've got custodians, you've got Havoc and Change demons. Machine Cult, thank you. They've received defensive buffs.
Soul Snatchers.
Some haven't received damn thing.
Any buffs.
We're not doing losers here.
Yeah.
We're not.
Infected Colonies is an offensive one. Human Inquisition is an offensive one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, Rebel Guerrillas as well. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ.
Okay, you know what? What? Yeah. Hold on. What happened to these guys?
Without giving too much commentary, should we just say what we think the worst armies are? Just like no further. Then we can explain it another time if you want to come to the Discord and get our thoughts on it. But for me, I think Rebel Guerrillas. Are I don't know what the hell went wrong there. But I think that's probably the worst army in the game now. I think it didn't get the help it needed. And unfortunately, it's officially don't think just charge branded in the bin.
Yeah, they can stay in the bin. Just they don't have any unit depth. Their army-wide rule doesn't help. Rip them. Nope. They're down there. I will try and make Soul Snatcher cults work, but really, Soul Snatcher cults and Volcanic Dwarfs for Fantasy, their army-wide rule being get a bit closer, kind of good. But when other armies were getting army-wide rules, aura buffs, extra units, extra loadouts, these guys, just because they were the quiet threads. Volcanic Dwarves had me and I want to say one with all. They were the only people, like us and maybe one other guy.
3 people in the Ghostly Undead thread.
Like,
I can't remember who the third person was. It was me, Merdin, and that was it. Yeah, so
so there are some armies, and this is one of the drawbacks of a public beta being your driving force for shaping your game, right? Your popular armies are going to receive literally tens of thousands of comments. The other ones are just going to be left to shit. And I think, yeah, I agree with you. Rebel Guerrillas are down there. Soul Snatcher Cults are down there. Who else? Jackals are fine, but I know a lot of people are unhappy with them. I think they could use a bit more love.
Yeah.
Just considering... I think one of the things really is unit depth. It's not army-wide rule. People who are evaluating armies based on their army-wide rule are falling into such a huge trap.
Yeah.
It's actually in the unit depth that is the issue for these armies.
It always will be, right? We just ranked Alien Hives as one of our best ones, and they just got morale, which, you know, we wouldn't be singing a lot about morale previous to this patch. Morale is a good thing to have, but it's not helping you win the game more.
Yeah.
In a way that, you know, Ones Explode does. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. There's a defensive buff, actually. There you go. Alien Hives and Human Defense Force, they've got defensives. But even their defensive buffs aren't the ones that you're thinking of in that way.
Dark Elf Raiders. Dark Elf Raiders.
Yeah, like, and also this commentary of the worst armies don't have unit depth. That isn't... Everything has a caveat. Everything has a... actually, because High Elf Fleets was one that you picked up on going into this as thinking they're kind of a bit shitty. I'm still going to run an All Elementals army at some point, but that's because of the tough buffs. So there is, you know, I think that what the overall landscape looks to be is we're pushing towards a 2 or 3 round game. Everyone's going to be exploding so much harder and faster on round 2. Round 2 is already the explosive round, right?
Yeah.
That round's going to be even bigger, I think. You're not going to see units getting knocked to half. You'll see them getting wiped, like we were talking about with Dow. The shotgun, the scout shotgun spam that we've spoken about with armies like, I don't know even what it is in Blood Brothers, but in Blood Brothers, if you could bring that one and then you've got the roll 1 extra attack thing coming out, that's really good. Orcs getting their shooting everywhere, getting better, really good, but increases lethality. Blessed Sisters just had their 12-inch thing removed from them and then got it in melee as well. And then Pistolier Sisters got a really nice buff as well. They've just got extra devout or boosted devout or whatever it's called. So all of those things just kind of increased. And then quasi lethality increases in the form of movement speed increases, or extra things that have just kind of pushed the ability to do your thing. Almost, I don't want to say made the game easier, but made getting your things into the position to do their things has become a bit easier.
Which in itself also puts more weight into tough 12 stuff, right? Because even if the game's more lethal, if they only do 11 wounds, you're still going to slap their face.
All right, you've persuaded me. I'll bring Oops All Stompies.
I just to end off, I swear I won't give a single more opinion after this. I think the buff should have been to tough 3 and tough 12 should have stayed the same. Because I think actually tough 3 is the thing that needed the help more and not the higher toughness things. It would have been nicer to have the base cost of tough reduced, but the scaling increased. Mostly because I don't really ever want to see tough 15 in my 2,000 point games. It's literally unkillable.
I can be with you on that one. I don't hate it. I'm just going to...
Oops, all disaster. God, what's the point in playing that trash faction?
Literally nothing to see here, officer. It's kind of interesting. And I think, that's a fair point to leave it out. Everyone's gotten that bit better. We're going to have to play our games, get in our... How many events did we go to last year? Shit tons.
All of them, yeah.
As many as we physically could. And I think through events, we certainly played over 30 games of, event, competitive, whatever you want to, how many times you want to use these fingers, phrasing, how many times you want to use air quotes. We played our fair fucking whack of event competitive games and had a fairly good handle on it. I'm going to reserve judgment for a year's time to tell you if I think the game's just gotten obscenely more aggressive and lethal, but it does feel that way. Is it good? Is it bad? We'll find out in due course. But for now, thank you very much for watching this video. Do get down in the comments and let us know your thoughts. Do you disagree with us? We love it when people actually come in, have that conversation with us in the comments, in our Discord. I've had my mind changed. Yes. You with the hand up.
Please. Yes, thank you. If you've made it this far in the video, head down to the comments and comment today's secret code, which is "Congratulations, Dave, on his second child."
Thank you. Yes, that's one of the reasons we've not been here for 8 weeks or so. My son joined us. Another
plague demon was brought into the world.
Let's not. Don't tell my wife that. Yes, I am now a father of 2, and so these bags are there to stay.
They're real. Yeah.
And on that point, yes, we do have to round out recording, mostly because I need to sleep and/or relieve my wife from, being a mother and give her a break too.
And I'm making pancakes.
And Harvey's making pancakes. That's not a euphemism.
Nope.
I'll see you in the comments. Join the Discord. Oh, do the like, comment, subscribe, YouTube things. Thanks. It helps a lot. Bye.
Bye.